Yo, T-Fit here with Fit Bully TV. Listen, people, do not forget to subscribe. Question I'm going to give you guys. We have missed a few opportunities to walk you through week 1, week 2, week 3. We're only really on almost day 10. Saturday will be 14, meaning 2 weeks. Listen, for the first 2 weeks, clearly you know this, hopefully. The puppy's eyes are not open and they're deaf. The ear canal and the actual eyeball itself is not fully developed. And even after the puppies open their eyes, the eye is still developing. So it's important that you don't put a lot of harsh light on their eyes so they can fully see. Now, the ear canal, in that case, the sounds and the term, when you do the research, they can actually hear, and I mean even acute sounds, once the 2-week mark comes up. So the ears develop much faster in terms of sensory than the eyeballs do. But here's the thing. During that time frame, meaning the first 2 weeks, your puppies go through a bunch of shit. But normally, here are the facts. They should sleep roughly about 22 hours and literally just eating shit. Eat shit, sleep. When your puppies get fussy, there's a few things you should be concerned with. One thing is make sure that they are pooping. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but people like myself who do the dog thing, even my own dogs, we look forward to cleaning up poop because most of the story that your dog is telling lies in the poop, unfortunately. So in this case, we had another litter prior. The puppy was just Patti LaBelle's at the highest note. What happened? I said, look, they took a shit today? Oh, they didn't. Well, we got to provide the enema. We'll do a video eventually if these puppies get constipated again on what that looks like. Things you also need to keep in mind and should have in terms of tools. One is a thermometer. If you don't know what your puppy's temperature is, or if you don't regulate their body temperature or know what the numbers are, which you can Google on your own, I might put it down in below. Here we go. They're about to start singing. You need a thermometer to make sure that that puppy's temperature stays at least above 95 and some change. That being said, if their temperature drops, what will happen to the milk in their system? It will, I believe the term is ferment, and if basically harden, and they will get constipated. Sometimes they'll foam at the mouth and they'll basically get poopy, get into a state of convulsions, and the puppy will fade eventually. But if you warm them up, and then it's a whole process. We don't go through that. We already experienced that. It's a bad thing. Second thing you want to do is have a scale. This is very important because with the scale, this is going to help you determine if your puppies are growing. Period. If they're not growing, for one, always check. Make sure the mom's producing milk when you put them on the nini. And you want to make sure they're growing. At least normally our puppies on the bully side, they grow almost a pound every 2 to 3 days. I know it sounds crazy, but we do a bit of the XLs and mid-range standard to XL, so they grow fast. When our puppies left in the last litter, they were, 8 weeks, they were 12 pounds. Almost 16 pounds to be clear, my bad, as the math is off. But again, you hear them whine a little bit. Pay attention to the sound. If you have this light here, pay attention, know your breed. It's to the ISO to I. So know your breed. When you're, oh, there she goes peeing. That's perfect. I love that. You love that pee. She's leaking right there. The light needs to be at least 3 feet above from where they're at. Keep in mind, I would offset this technically. We have a heating blanket in there as well. And put this at the corner so it's not directly on them. Our particular bully in this case, meaning Maya, she has an elongated soft palate, which means she has trouble breathing. And with that being said, it's not uncommon because 3 of her puppies in this case had cleft and soft palates. So my bad, they had cleft palates and cleft lips, which also means that these puppies can get hot relatively quick. So where the last puppies, we had the heat lamp on, they were rocking, they had no issues. These puppies, it's not hot in here, but it's not cold in here. It's like medium room temperature, and they can't deal with this level of heat. And when they get whiny like this, it's time for them to eat, to be clear. What's up, man? Eli, stop leaking on me. That's why I'm looking like that. When they get whiny like that, it's time to eat. So pay attention to the noise. Make sure your dogs are pooping. Pay attention to the poop because you don't want it foamy or bubbly or diarrhea. You don't want none of this stuff. You got to make sure they don't get too gassy. You can give them a liquid form of Baby Gas X. If they get too gassy and expand, there's so many things that go into this, and I'm going to be doing very punch in the mouth videos so it's a little bit more clear. But again, having a light in case you want to keep your dogs warm. We're kind of all over the house, so we also have a camera that we mount so that if we do hear too much sound or too much struggle to, we come and check on the puppies. Keep the thermometer so that you know your dog's temperature. Make sure that you have a scale so you can be growing. We've got a list because everybody here kind of helps what time the puppies last ate. Do not overfeed the puppies. The doctors say every 2.5 hours. Realistically, I would give it 3 to 4 because at the end of the day, they have to grow. And if they not whining and fussing, definitely feed them at 4 hours, but 2 hours is just, it's not even necessary. They're growing, but they ain't growing that fast. Again, they sleep for 22 hours. They poop and shit the rest of the time. These things will make your life easy. Having some gloves on deck, having plenty of blankets, rotating the blankets out. We have some wipes here in a warmer to make sure if we want to wipe them down to make sure they don't get too funky. That we, don't apply nothing too cold to them. They're not going to go into shock, but you just want to continue to simulate a warm environment for them so that they remain comfortable. That being said, T-Fit here, Fit Bully TV. Don't forget to subscribe, people. These are some tools, things to be aware of that can help you if you are in the breeding game and need to know where to start. What are the things you need to have on deck? Thermometer, scale, light, wipes. We use a basket to start because they can't really do nothing. These jokers will grow real fast. And then if you have other questions, let me know how that goes, people. Let me know if you leave a comment. I'm seeing the comments. I'm about to start replying to some comments. So stay tuned, stay moving, take care of your dogs.